Hi, Cancer. Welcome to your first reading, at least with me. Normally, I would read for Virgo, and then over time, other zodiac signs, other people started to ask me to read for their zodiac sign. So I've been doing that, and now here I am. I was asked to do your read to read for your sign. I don't know why, but I gotta tell you, the lighting in the camera looks red. And to me, I'm picking that up as that's your vibration right now. You're dealing maybe with a lot of new ideas. You're feeling quite passionate lately. There are opportunities that are coming your way. I feel like a lot of you are dealing with your root chakra. There is, like a cleansing or a purification taking place with your root chakra. That's normally the chakra that relates to relationships. When we're changing or, doing some adjustments in our personal relationships. I've tried to change the color, but it doesn't seem to go away. So anyways, Cancer, yeah, I don't read for everyone. So here I am. I'm super excited to do this. Just keep in mind that this is a very overall reading, so it's not going to describe everybody's situation out there. But the messages that I offer can be used by anyone, so just keep that in mind. You always can come back and listen to the video, and you'll be surprised, that you can always get a little bit more. I'm going to leave the information behind, I should say underneath the video, if you want to connect and have a reading. Also, I like to say that I am not your typical fortune teller, okay? What I do is through the oracle, can tap into your energy and describe what is going on with you guys out there. But I'm not here to read your future. I believe that we are creators of our reality, and we have the ability to create anything we want, as long as we understand what we're doing with our energy in the present moment, okay? So if this is what you want to be and whatever actions you're taking, it's coming out here, it's being described here, and the oracle is saying, yeah, that's the way to go, perfect. If it's not, you have the opportunity to change it. So just keep that in mind. All right, Cancer, so let's begin. So here, the element of water is opening your reading, and this is your element, okay? So as I can see, many of you right now are in your element. You're dealing a lot with your emotions lately. You're paying attention to your emotions because some of you are going through this moment where you are rebirthing is what I'm hearing. Rebirthing. It's like you're having a spiritual awakening, like it's like you're rebirthing. It's like a rebirth happening here, where you are starting to feel alive again. You start feeling like there's light at the end of the tunnel. Sorry about that. Tunnel. Well, it's all good. But you know what I mean. So it's like there is light at the end of the tunnel, and you're starting to feel like, yeah, of course I can do this. What was I thinking? So some of you are going through this cycle where you're starting to trust, you're starting to feel like life doesn't have to be about giving up. Life doesn't have to be about being afraid or letting somebody else decide for you what you need to do at all times. Okay, so stay with me because this is what Spirit is talking. So at this moment, the water element is coming to cleanse. And as it's doing that, you're starting to feel like, yeah, why not? I have something to say. I have something to offer. I have my skills and my abilities and my gifts, and why not? So when I look at the water element, I see that part of what's being washed away is a relationship. So here I'm picking up on people that have been in a toxic relationship. A relationship where many of you felt trapped. There are other people here that are also coming through as still dealing with this. So you haven't really reach that point where you're liberated, but you're thinking about it. And if you are, it's because this water element here, okay? It's like there's this deep desire of finally break loose, break away from anything that ties you down. So I can see that with the water, right, we are cleaning and purifying in the same way that we do with our children or when we get baptized. When we do all of these little rituals to cleanse and purify, it's very symbolic because it's in the way that we are agreeing to let go of the old and, initiate ourselves in a new path, in a new way. Now you have here, and it's funny because it comes with the number 6. There's a lot of 6 in your reading. And the 6 is basically when we get to that point where we start understanding that life is more than physical. And the way to reach harmony and equilibrium is by following intuition, by following or nurturing our spirit. And that's what number 6 is about. So it's about, that we could say the Trinity, like reaching that level of awareness that the balance has to come from within. And it is through the higher power that we find liberation, okay? So we have Mercury also coming with the number 6, and this is the ruler of Virgo. So here it's, you might be feeling like taking the time to use a little bit of your logic, and through your logic, find some sort of way or path to know what to do, okay? Especially in the physical reality. So here we are, finding an equilibrium between our emotions, but also how to express our ideas, because Mercury represents that. How are we going to express our ideas? How are we going to communicate them? How are we going to bring out all of those things that we've been keeping inside? And the best part is that here, an astrological relative is coming to assist you. Pisces. It comes with the number 3. And Pisces is trying to, just guide you and remind you that your intuition never fails you. Remember your intuition. Remember, how to work with your inspiration. Inspiration is just one of the ways that we feel lighter. So, what is your creativity like? Search deep within yourself. And you're not going to find a lot of those traumas and memories that sometimes we suppress. Sometimes you'd be surprised what you can find. You can find memories or ideas of things that you wanted to do and suppressed. So you're getting a lot of help during this cycle to move through this time of transformation, okay? Where finally some of you are starting to see that, yes, it is time to move on. It is time to break away from the, stagnation. It's just time. And it's not something that is happening very quickly. It's something that is happening slowly, okay? Little by little, you're starting to tip your toes in the water and exploring and searching and looking. And that's kind of feeling exciting to you. But there's still a bond. There's still some cords with this person in the past. And what Spirit is showing me is that you're being a little bit diplomatic, trying to avoid any type of conflict. Cancers don't like conflicts. Cancers are the type of person that are very, very loyal to their partners. And one of the things that really makes you happy is making sure that your partner feels loved and taken care of. But what happens is that a lot of times when we do that, if we do that too much and we don't let our partners do that back to us, we end up creating unhealthy situations. And if this is the case for you, Cancer, well, the opportunity that you have right now is to pay attention and reflect upon all of those choices that you made that might have contributed to create an unhealthy situation. So, for those of you who decided to break away and finally have the courage and the determination to move on, Spirit is saying it's the best thing you've done. And here we see that in the direction that you're moving is towards the Ace of Pentacles. This is about using your own abilities to attract and create security. Mercury also talks about you sharing your ideas, okay? You need to share your ideas. Your ideas matter. So if you might have been in a situation that for a long time you didn't, just because you chose or you thought that they were not good enough, Spirit is saying, they are. This is your turn. So here we're breaking from patterns of stagnation where you felt trapped and moving towards a direction where you are able to express yourself in a different way. How wonderful. Congratulations. In the heart of the reading, 6 comes out again. Forgiveness. So this is a time where, forgiving yourself is as important as forgiving the other person. And this is about, not taking with you regrets or, resentment or anger. Sometimes we start hating the person. This is a time where you really just want to release all of that, because the direction that you're moving, you just want to be lighter. You want to completely liberate yourself. It's like, you chose to live a time that was definitely hard and difficult, and it's like being in jail. And you learn a lot. And now it's like, it's done, it's over. And that was, a time in my life where, yes, that's what I chose, but now I don't have to do that anymore. So ultimately, when you forgive, you're also able to understand the lesson from a broader perspective, where you will know exactly what you need to do to avoid repeating that same situation. Okay? I know it's hard to do, but it's not impossible. And remember, you are where you are at this moment. So a lot of these suggestions doesn't mean that you have to transform yourself overnight. It's just suggestions that the Spirit is giving. And little by little, you can start doing things that will get you there. Another outcome from your ability to forgive is a change of relationship. And maybe a lot of you think, well, I'm not ready for another relationship. And Spirit is saying, well, it's not up to you. But this can also mean that you will surround yourself with different people. It doesn't always have to be about attracting another relationship, although it just may be. But this is talking about, you will start attracting, the relationships, that, people, different types. Sorry, guys. When I'm translating this information, that's one of the things that happens. Sometimes I can go really fast, and sometimes I have to stop myself and take a deep breath. But I just feel like I get this blocks of information, and I have to translate it. And sometimes it's not necessarily as easy. But anyways, I do the best that I can. So stay with me. So yeah, here we're talking about a change in relationship. Now, I see that some of you Cancerians, you left somebody behind. This person is showing up as the King of Wands. So we're talking about somebody here who could have been very passionate, somebody who could be very stern, somebody who can be quite like always right. And this person can be quite sociable, but yes, they have that tendency to be quite dominant. And it's funny because the whole reading looks red as I look it through the camera. And I've tried to fix it, and it's funny, this morning I was doing another reading and it was blue. It was all blue. Now it's all red. And there's nothing red here. And I've tried to fix the camera and it just won't do it. So I guess it's the type of vibe. Anyway, so here you're leaving somebody behind that's coming through as the King of Wands. And yeah, this person is like, as they are now feeling alone or being by themselves, they're looking back, right? You're moving on, Cancer. And in a way, although, you have two swords in the back, if you notice here, you're not looking back. You're like, I'm out of here. While this person behind you, if you notice, they still caught up in their own, emotional bullshit. They still having a difficult time. This is somebody who's coming across as controlling. So, they seem to still be struggling emotionally. It's like they haven't finished yet. While you are moving into, an emotional place of freedom. And again, with the Ten of Wands here, this is something that has not been easy. As you can see, look at this Ten of Swords. Look at this new beginning. Because that's not what the 10 represents. It's like it hasn't been easy. And this tells me, Cancer, that it was a long journey. A long journey, very difficult one, where it was very, very difficult to get out. And I can see that there are still some of you who are struggling, that you may have fears to let go of this person. And Spirit is saying is, please be courageous, be brave, and be honest with yourself. And if you are determined and you feel like it's time to let that go, that you will find the needed help. This is where, they're asking you to pray to Angel Ezekiel. He deals with the 4 directions for assistance, okay? Now, back to those of you who broke away or are in that process, you're being very diplomatic. And, here with the number 2, we're juggling, right? And, of course, number 2 is, let me see, is the energy of the High Priestess. So it's like this could very well mean that sometimes, you're not quite sure, and sometimes you find yourself being indecisive, being unsure, am I doing the right thing? And the doubts start creeping in, right? So then as you are communicating with this person, you are kind of doubting yourself if the best thing for you is to walk away. So there is sometimes a lack of clarity or understanding that you're having as things are really finally demonstrating that this is happening. And Spirit is saying is just trust your intuition. And if you choose to remain consistent and true to your decision, you will find success. For those of you who have not been able to walk away, remember, if you are in an abusive relationship, Spirit is saying to seek help. Because from the moment that you understand that you are dealing with an abuser and you decide to stay, you are contributing to that abuse. You're contributing to this person's behavior. And I know that's hard to swallow, but believe me, I'm just a translator, so don't kill the translator, please, 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 please. I'm very empathetic in situations like this. But from the moment you know that you're being abused, if you stay in an environment like that, you are, especially if you're afraid, because a lot of times, when we're in an abusive situation, we get so afraid that, we start hiding our emotions, hiding our true feelings, and trying to, and what we do is trying to, negotiate and compromise with that person by always giving up our voice, our courage, our power. Not fair, not fair, not fair. So this is the time that you have, right, to look at things and be honest to yourself, especially with the sun here. Be honest with yourself. This is not going to change. So this is the time that you have to end it. And don't worry, because justice will prevail. Here, the Spirit is saying, just leave it all to the hands of the universe, and believe me that, what goes around comes around. So don't worry about a payback. All you really need to worry about right now in your priority, Cancer, is to yourself. What do I need to do in order for me to find myself once again, to find that light at the end of the tunnel? The courage and the determination that I matter. I am important. And I don't have to live like this. I don't have to live trapped. So reflect, and for a moment think, have I learned the lesson? What have I learned? And if you understood your part, because sometimes, that's what it requires. We have to take responsibility too. Even in situations like this, we also contributed to the situation. It's just not one person being mean and nasty and bad. No, it's, we also contribute to the situation. You don't necessarily contribute for this person's anger and insecurities, but, they're feeding off your energy. And by you remaining in that environment, they're just getting stronger through you, through your fears. And that's not healthy. So, we have to come to terms that, we decide. Ultimately, we decide. And people can try to manipulate you and make you buy into all these things, and that's just BS. So, go out and seek the help, because there's plenty of people out there that can help you break away from this situation. And this doesn't only have to happen to women. It could happen to men too. So I'm not just talking here with women or, talking about women. So to those of you who are in a healthy relationship, this is a time where you're being assisted to rejuvenate, okay? To dig deep and see, what are those ideas that you have that you can explore and go after? And what are those ideas that are keeping me trapped in a reality of insecurity? So as you pay attention, you will know what to do, especially and as long as you're using your intuition, okay? The whole opportunity that you're having right now, Cancer, is how are you going to express them, okay? So in some ways, it's like the world is hungry for your ideas. I know that kind of sounds a little bit dramatic, but no, it's true. The world is hungry. The collective is hungry for your ideas. So give them. So as the knight, okay, ancestors are saying, be the knight, be brave and honest about where you're at, take responsibility for your actions, and then stand your ground, and don't let any of these fears cloud your perceptions, nor keep you in a place that is a dead end for you. You are being helped, and a lot of those insecurities are being washed away with your element, with the element of water. And maybe, astrologically, it would be a good idea for you to check where you're at. What are the planets right now or what are the areas in your chart that are posing a challenge. So sometimes that's very helpful. And then you have the direction guardian here. And this is talking about, it doesn't matter which path you choose, as long as you do it coming from a place of excitement and love for yourself. This is where, they say, call the energy of Ezekiel, angel Ezekiel. And he will help you and he will lead you. And, doesn't matter what direction. What matters is what you're doing, how you're feeling. That's the priority. They're talking about use the stone jade and onyx. These are two great stones right now that you can be working with. Cancer, jade and onyx. Jade helps a lot to purify the heart. It's a great stone to work with. And onyx is a very grounding stone. It also cleans and purifies and harmonizes all of the energy centers of our body. That's cool. I like those two stones a lot too. And they don't have to be big. It's not like you have to have this huge rock. Of course, if you have a necklace, being a woman, that you want to use, great. But if you're a guy, you could just find yourself a small jade in green. And, at nighttime when you're resting, you could put it around your heart chakra and see what happens. Always remember to clean your stones before you use them, okay? Salt and water, and then charge them with the moon or with a prayer. And the onyx, you could use it throughout the day. When you're busy, and especially in those moments when we're challenged, right? When you're feeling that we're in a situation of challenge or difficulty where we're arguing, there's arguments or fights, and, we need courage sometimes. And it doesn't always have to be about butting heads, but it's about remaining strong within ourselves and not letting the other person pull us in or makes us feel insecure. Because a lot of times these people with a lot of anger, they come to project their anger onto other people. And the way they go about it is by, hitting you and pushing those buttons that are going to make you feel insecure. So it's like, screw them. And I'm being nice about it. But anyways, those of you who are single, well, again, this is the time, and, this may not resonate at all, the opportunity that you have here, whatever you're doing to move on, it is bringing a lot of prosperity with the Magician and the Pentacles, okay? So some of you are feeling quite prosperous this time, where you are definitely going after the things you want. It's like this is about, feeling a sense of harmony between your ideas, your thoughts, your emotions, your choices. It's like everything is just flowing nicely. Those of you who are looking for love, well, if you continue in this path, I'm sure that during this time you may end up finding somebody. But the reading is more focused on those people that are breaking away or trying to break away. Okay? The encouragement of what these people need to do during this time and the type of help you're receiving from universal forces. So that's the main focus right now. Pay attention also to the animal medicine here, these totems of the lion, eagle, and bull. Okay? Native American people use animals as a form of receiving information, but also protection. So here, pay attention to them. Go and seek information about what these animals represent. And also pay attention to the ones that come to you. Because here they're telling me, the spirit is talking about you paying attention to like little things that come, little beings or animals that are coming and assisting you during this time. They're assisting you to keep you in the courageous mode. And I will say this. There are, this person that is showing here in the reading, they may just, be aware, because they may be making you believe that they're all okay about, you moving on when they're not. They're not really showing their true colors. So this is a person who hides behind their words and their, toughness. So just don't buy into that. But remember, the most important thing is that you do move on, because that's where your victory will be. Alright, my dears Cancer, this is all I have for you. I hope you like this reading. Just remember that the most important thing is to love yourself, to nurture yourself. So right now, during this cycle, the priority is about you being able to express a lot of those ideas that you've had for a long time, okay? It's about you, letting know to the world that you count, that you matter, okay? And it's about also breaking the chains. Free yourself from anything that limits you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.